Good morning, everybody. Happy November. Happy Halloween to those of you out here who had a good time last night. Based on my neighbors, Paulie, I think everyone around me thought the Braves were going to win the World Series because there were some struggling faces as we head out to the bus stop. But it's a beautiful Monday after a gorgeous Sunday of wild results, man. What'd you think of Sunday football?
Yeah, that wasn't that wasn't the most. I mean, it was enjoyable to watch, not great results wise, because you had all the kind of unknowns happen. We can put it that way, politely, maybe. You know, with the Jets beating Cincinnati, Cooper Rush going into Minnesota and getting a win. Yes, I said that correctly. Cooper Rush getting a win on Sunday Night Football, something you weren't probably expecting to say this year, but. Yeah, we got another week coming up here.
Cooper Rush sounds like a Madden auto-generated name for a quarterback there, Mike White, with the big win. So big injuries to talk about, big wins. Before we get to Week 9, and of course we will look at Monday Night Football tonight to close out Week 8, and then a look ahead all the way through Week 9 as Paulie gives us his thoughts on all these games. You got to give a thanks to our sponsor, Betcha. Use code ELITE for up to a $100 deposit, your first deposit, $100 match on that over there. Easy prop games, overs, unders. We got every single sport you can possibly imagine, except for soccer. We need to get soccer on there, Betcha. But NHL, we've been killing them with Kenneth Lee, the Alcoholic, Tyler Beaker, all these guys throwing in free plays over on EliteSportsBetting.com. It's got its own special tab. Just click on the Betcha tab, and all those pop up for you over there. So if you haven't that, go download that app. Super fun, super easy. But let's talk about Monday Night Football here, Paulie, before we jump into Week 9. We got the Giants at the Chiefs. As you can see, it is now 10.5. 52.5 on the total here. Chiefs taking some money in spite of them looking very, very average the entire year, back at Arrowhead and taking on Danny Dimes and the Giants.
Yeah, this one's really on the spot on market for me, I make it 10 and 52. So really no value on Monday Night Football. No, it's not what you want to hear. But I mean, the only thing I look for is if you're going to bet this game, maybe look to bet it live, watch the first couple series. Maybe it starts out slow and you can get a live over bet in or something like that, because there will be points scored in this game based upon both these teams' defenses. I think we kind of know that for sure at this point.
Yeah, if anything, I might want to back the Giants here, but no play for me at all. We do have the Chiefs and Survivor, so God, Bangles, huge Survivor killer there. We'll talk about that game. Now, as we move into Week 9, Jets at the Colts, 10.5-point home favorites here for the Colts, who lost a heartbreaker yesterday to the Titans, 47 on the total here. Is there a quarterback controversy in New York, Paulie?
I think you got to start Marco White anyway, but Wilson's not going to be healthy enough to play anyway here, so it's going to be the Mike White show here. This is want to make the game 11 and 45, so at this point, no real edge to bet here in this game either. If this drops down to 9.5, I would probably use it in a teaser piece. That's about the only thing I would do with this game right now.
Isn't that the most New York thing ever, though? You got your golden child, top 5 pick, and then this guy, no name, comes in, throws 2 picks in a half, throws another 2 picks, but they get the win. All of a sudden, he's taking over for Zach Wilson. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay away there. Let's move into Sunday then, the 1 o'clock window. Falcons at the Saints. Saints 5-point home favorites here, 43.5. Jameis, we've lost Jameis for the season. That's good and bad. Good maybe for Saints fans for their health. Bad for Jameis. Another horse collar tackle. This is why they were banned. Sounds like a torn ACL. Going with Trevor Siemian, most likely. Saints 5-point home favorites here.
Yeah, this is one I'm not quite sure why the Saints are this big of favorites
Bizarre,
here.
Right?
Right. This is one I haven't bet yet, but I'm most likely going to be taking the Falcons. This line just kind of screams kind of fishy to me because I know Trevor Siemian isn't that big of a downgrade off of Jameis, but it's probably still worth about a point and a half, I would think, which makes me think that this line should be closer to 3 and not 5. So most likely going to be taking the Falcons here, getting the 5 on the road. It's going to be kind of a plug your nose bet because the Falcons are not good, as we very well know. But it's going to be highly dependent upon how well the Saints play here on defense. So maybe the unders even a play here because I would make it 41.5 here. So maybe be taking Falcons or maybe even just the Saints team total under when that comes out later in the week, possibly because we're probably going to get that at 24-ish. I don't know if the Saints are going to put up more than 24 points with Siemian at quarterback. Not sure. So this is one just kind of wait and see. I'm going to bet something in this game. I just don't know what yet.
Mark Ingram's back. We should mention Calvin Ridley stepping away from football. It sounds like some personal things going on, working on his mental health. That's probably a piece of it. What the hell happened to Gage yesterday? No catches, no targets. Falcons offense, who knows? I like that under, though, Paul. I like under 43.5. Let's go with the Broncos at Cowboys, 7-point home favorites here. You mentioned it, Cooper Rush, the hero last night. We assume Dak will be back for next Sunday, 48.5 on the total here. Broncos, hot start, falling off a cliff since.
Yeah, this is one that's just gotten bet up a bunch in the last about half an hour here. It's gotten bet up to 8 in most places already. So this is one that might be a potential teaser piece later on in the week. I'm just going to want to see the injury news and confirmations before locking in anything in this game. Because you don't want to get stuck holding the bag, betting on the teaser in this game, and then all of a sudden it's Cooper Rush back at quarterback instead of Dak. That wouldn't be good. So this is one. Wait till Thursday or Friday until we get better news in terms of whether Dak's going to be starting or not.
So even if they can head over, I know right now on DraftKings it's still 7. No reason to run over and grab that now, even though it's 8 in a lot of spots.
No, I would just wait at this point because just wait for Dak to be rolled in.
I'm just noticing a type. Patriots at the Panthers here. +3.
It's pronounced Patrios.
Okay. Patrios, excuse me. Looking like a wagon.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a soccer team.
And that's later today. We got Champions League this week, EPL today, tons of soccer action. But no, Belichick. I said it last week on the Pick'em Pod. That was a perfect Belichick spot where they had no business in the game. They go and win outright. Now they're 3-point dogs here on the road to Carolina. 3-point road favorites here. What are we doing with Sam Darnold? Because another average performance from him. They do get the win yesterday, but really struggled once they got down in the scoring areas.
Well, Darnold may not play this game because of injury. So if you have PJ Walker quarterback, that's worse. True. So this is one I lean New England in this game. Just waiting a little bit on the injury report. Might fire on this game either today or tomorrow once I get a better clarity on who's going to be the quarterback. Because even though Darnold's not great, PJ Walker is abysmal to the point where I'm definitely going to be back in the Patriots at that point. I want to getting ahead of that market because I think this number is going to move probably to 4 or 5 if Darnold is indeed out.
He's no Mike White, that's for sure. How about the Vikings at the Ravens? Ravens coming off a bye here. 50.5 on the total here and nearly a touchdown favorite. Vikings super chalk yesterday in a lot of pick'em contests. They do lose to Cooper Rush. Can they bounce back here on the road? It seems like a spot where the Ravens got healthy over the week and can kind of get back to business.
Yeah, I make the game 60-49 here. So no real edge. This number was 5 before the game last night. Moved to 6, which makes sense because people kind of downgraded the Vikings a little bit because they just lost at home to a backup quarterback. And now you got to go play, a rested Lamar Jackson, which is and Harbaugh coaching with an extra week of prep. That's going to be tough. So this is one where you may end up using this in a 6-point teaser possibly because I would be kind of surprised to see the Ravens lose in this spot.
That's what I was thinking too. Tease it down. Get them to a pick 'em. How about the Browns at the Bengals? 3-point home favorites here for the Bengals. 45.5. Easy come, easy go for the Bengals. Up and down. Baker certainly didn't look healthy. Chubb pretty average yesterday for these Brownies who lost to the Steelers. Big in-state matchup here. Any edge on these numbers, Paulie?
No, this is kind of Jekyll and Hyde teams here again, right? We talk about betting, being able to bet on teams you can kind of predict pretty easily. Mm-hmm. These are two teams that are very unpredictable, right? Like in terms of like distribution of results. We've seen the Bengals lose to the Bears by throwing a bunch of turnovers. They just lost to the Jets here, right? Browns just lost to the Steelers and couldn't move the ball at all. Baker's playing, but I think I almost really went at Keenum yesterday because he could have at least thrown the ball.
Did you see the harness he was in? So he couldn't move it?
It looked like a straitjacket. So I don't quite get why he was playing with that. This is going to be a stay away for me here.
Yeah, just enjoy the game. Maybe watch the score. Hopefully it pops up on Red Zone. How about the Bills at the Jags? 14-point home dogs here for the Jags, 49.5. This is a game last week I thought was a little surprising not to see more action on the Seahawks. The Jags, I guess because they won in London, got some respect. Certainly that's got to go away now. This season more than any, I'm feeling like these big dogs are coming through, which we typically just take the other side, right? But how can we back the Jags with 14 points here?
This is one maybe looking at like a Buffalo first half bet here because you're probably going to get like a -8 for Buffalo in the first half. That's probably the way to go in this game. Just like, as you mentioned, a lot of these games have been backdoored. Like we saw at the Rams game, right, where they were up a ton, and then give up 22 points. It was 38-0, and then they gave up 22 points, land on 16. I think that's probably the best way to go here, unless you can find some type of like derivative bet to back the Bills here. I think this number climbs a little bit. I think this probably gets to 15 or 16, just based on the way we saw market move this past weekend on the heavy favorites. We saw the Bills jump up. We saw the Rams jump up a little bit. I think you're going to see the same thing again with a bunch of money come in here, probably on Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. It's going to bump this number up probably 16.
Couple of 1-7 football teams here. Texans at the Dolphins. 7-point home favorites here for the Dolphins. 45.5 on the total. We just talked about that backdoor. 22 points in the fourth quarter. The Texans, ironically, when their starters are playing against backups, can be competitive. But a couple starters here for the Dolphins will be going from the start. Tua look decent. Can they cover 7?
The thing to note here is Tyrod Taylor may be back for the Texans this week.
Big difference. Yep.
That's a big difference. Tyrod's not a great quarterback, but he's a heck of a lot better than Davis Mills. And that's why when you look at the number, you're like, well, Dolphins are only a 7-point favorite here. What's wrong, right? It's the Texans, right? And Dolphins are home, right? And that's the reason why is because Tyrod's most likely playing. This is one where if Tyrod gets ruled out, you're going to want to hop on that line. But at this point, I'm just staying away. You have two really terrible teams at this point, and I really don't want any part of it unless Davis Mills is playing.
Yeah, we talked about kind of hopefully grabbing some predictability here. Very unpredictable. Any inclination on when we'll know that Taylor news? We're going to wait all the way till Sunday, or are we going to see him practice this week?
He'll be probably practicing all week, and my guess is you'll probably hear a starter announced probably like on Friday or something like that, Thursday.
That's when we can act. Perfect. How about the Raiders at the Giants? 3-point home dogs here for the Giants. 48 on the total. Obviously, they're going tonight. We'll hopefully have no injuries there. But as far as looking ahead at this game, any insights?
Yeah, I played this in a look-ahead line on I think last Wednesday or Thursday as one of my biggest bets of the year. I played Raiders minus 2.5. I still like it at 3 here. I make the line 6.5. This is one of the biggest scheduling edges you'll have probably all year in the NFL. If you look at the schedule here, right, the Raiders are coming in off of a bye. The Giants are coming in off of playing on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs. That's a terrible scheduling spot. You're short rest with a team that is already dinged up and injured with all these guys out or questionable, barely able to play. Now got to go on an extra day of short rest to a team that has had 2 weeks to plan, who basically have changed some of their philosophies now that Gruden is out and have looked pretty good doing that. This is one of just the number just at 3 just doesn't make sense, especially if there's a chance the Chiefs play well tonight. Like this number is only going one direction because even if the Giants stay close to Chiefs, this number still stays at this point or goes up a little bit. If they get clobbered by the Chiefs, this number reopens tomorrow morning at 5. And once people really realize that the Raiders are coming off a bye and Giants are coming in on short rest, this number is going to keep getting bet up and up and up throughout the week.
Yeah, worst case, we should grab some CLV there. I did just typically, like I do, lock in a bet there during the show. Appreciate that, Paulie. Go Raiders. I was wondering if there's going to be a drop-off after that initial burst, Gruden out, and then the interim coach, but it looks like they've done it a couple weeks in a row and nice and rested here for the Giants. So let's move to the 4 p.m. window then, Paulie. Chargers at Eagles. Eagles, 2.5-point home dogs here, 51 on the total. Odd score yesterday. Jalen Hurts, you'd think would have a hell of a day based on how big they won, but didn't do a lot. Didn't have to, really.
Yeah, give me the Chargers in the spot. I'll take Chargers minus 2.5. This is one where it's just an overreaction to the results this past weekend, right? Chargers kind of played a weird game against the Patriots and lost. Chargers, of course, the whole season are a pretty good team. Probably one of the top, probably 7 or 8 teams in the NFL. The Eagles are not. The Eagles kind of got Detroit Lion disease, right? Everyone looks really good against the Lions, it seems like. And that's what the Eagles did. They didn't have to do anything because Lions just kind of gave them the game there, right? And it was a blowout. We've seen the Eagles get clobbered by, good teams, and then they clobbered the bad teams. They're up against a good team here, and Chargers are only a 2.5-point favorite. This line should probably be about 5. So I would definitely bet that 2.5 now because I think this is going to go up throughout the week.
Yeah, Chargers. They've lost to 3 good teams. So yeah, you can kind of write those off. Don't like the home loss, but a good bounce back spot there potentially. Let's grab those Chargers and lay the 2.5. How about the Packers at the Chiefs? -2.5 here for the Chiefs as home favorites. 54 on the total. Again, Chiefs playing tonight. We'll probably wait to make sure we don't have any issues. Patrick Mahomes seems like he's down bad, man. His brother, his wife doing all kinds of TikToks in his face. Can't even eat chips and salsa in peace. He just wants to get back on the football field and perform. How about this line with 2 of the best quarterbacks ever going head-to-head?
Yeah, give me the over in this game, even though it's a high number. I think the number should be 57, so I want to lock in 54 before it moves up. This is one where you're going to have both teams throwing heavily. Rodgers, of course, we saw how much he threw the other night, and it doesn't matter who he can throw to, he can still move the ball down the field and score points. And the Chiefs' defense secondary is atrocious, and Rodgers is going to exploit that, which means you're going to have a back-and-forth matchup because Mahomes is going to want to do the exact same thing to Green Bay secondary, right?
Might have to, yeah.
Right? So this is one where you really got shootout potential because this is, when one team goes quick and scores a bunch, their other teams have to answer. And so this is one that I think you're going to have a lot of back and forth. We'll be interested to see what some of the player props in this game are because it's going to be a pretty high-octane game.
Very popular game for daily fantasy, I would imagine. I don't know about this game, though. How about the Cardinals at the Niners? 3-point home dogs here for the Niners, 47.5 on the total. This was a curious line to me. Why are the Cards only 3-point road favorites here?
Believe it or not, I just have a slight lean towards the 49ers here.
Nice. Why?
At this number. I think 49ers are underrated in the market there. Most likely getting George Kittle back. They looked pretty good this past week. Cardinals, not so much. In a division matchup with the Niners getting points there, we typically see the NFC West matchups be very, very close and down to the wire. If this hits 3.5, I would probably be a buyer on San Fran, but at this point, it's a small edge, probably not enough to bet yet.
Kittle back would be huge. 49ers still looking for their first home win. Not a terrible spot to grab it there. The game everybody's probably been waiting for. You surely have seen the news today. Sounds like Derrick Henry is out for the year. Liz Frank issue there with the foot. You figured something was going to happen with the usage he's seen. So we're down to McNichols, I believe. Titans probably on the market for a running back. 7-point road dogs here. Rams have looked damn good. Does this number just shoot up, or are we going to stick around 7, Paulie?
I think the number is just going to move just a little bit here. It's probably going to end up closing probably 8, something like that. But I think the best way to exploit this one's going to be a 6-point teaser. It's a good piece for that. Get it down at -1, or if it moves up still, even a -2, you get it down to it's fine. I think that's going to be a pretty good piece. I think the Rams will win this game because I'm not sure how the Titans are going to be able to handle everything because the way they've been having success has been play action pass, right, over the last month. Well, when you don't have Derrick Henry there, we don't necessarily have to put as many guys up to worry about the run. And they've had some injuries on the line as well now. This is where the Rams are going to tear apart the Titans secondary, I think, here and score points. And I'm not sure how Titans offense without Henry is going to put up enough points to hang on here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like a Cowboys, Ravens, Rams teaser. We're getting some decent money on that there, but we won't go too crazy here. All right, let's talk about the last game of the week here, Paulie. Monday Night Football. Bears at Steelers, 6.5-point favorites for the home Steelers, coming off the huge win over the Brownies. And Justin Fields looked great. I think he got back to a little bit of what he does well, kind of moving around the pocket and just using his athleticism here. But are the Bears better without Nagy than with him? Because that was kind of the scuttlebutt on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that. I'm very anti-Nagy. So, but yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game here because, believe it or not, with a total of 40, I actually lean under in this game. I make the total 38. So if this ticks up at all in the market, you will see me play under. If this somehow hits 41, I probably will play under, which is kind of crazy. But this is one where the Steelers know what they got to do to win this game, and that's defense, ball control, a lot of short passes, run the clock. And the Bears up against that Steelers secondary, I don't think they're going to be throwing a lot of deep passes. I think you're going to be a lot of runs or run pass options with Fields, something like that. And that's going to run and eat up a bunch of clock there. I think you're going to have a bunch of field goals in this game because the red zone efficiencies for both these quarterbacks are not going to be that good. So who knows? The Steelers may not even have a kicker. They're going to have to try somebody out for this week. So lean here is under. We're going to see what happens throughout the week here with this line.
Awesome game there to finish out the week. Under 40. The killer of dreams, Paulie, but we like the wins when we get them. Any final words for week 8 or look ahead to week 9 before we let the folks get out of here?
No, just pay attention to the injury reports and some of the bet sheets. The stuff on the bet sheet we'll have up on elitesportsbetting.com because this is a week where there's a lot of injuries and notes out there. So going to be updating the sheet with the bets throughout the week. Besides the 2 or 3 bets that I've already mentioned here, probably gonna have another 4 or 5 bets. Just haven't fired on them yet because we're waiting to confirm on a couple things.
Yep, waiting to hear some injury news there. So thank you, Paulie. Of course, head over to elitesportsbetting.com. That's where you can grab all of his and everyone else's plays within the Elite Network here. And join the Discord. We're always in there giving you kind of live reactions. It's already been firing off this morning with the Derrick Henry news. And yesterday morning was an absolute blast in there. So for Paulie, I am Duke for Elite Sports Betting and Betcha. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully you enjoyed the Week 9 look ahead. Adios.